Hello, beautiful people. This is Freedom Fighter. Thank you for tuning into our channel, Goldilocks Global Banking News. Everybody knows that Goldilocks is the #1 source for the RVGCR. People from around the world tune in to see what Goldilocks is sharing on the RVGCR. Don't miss your chance and get your latest updates every day. So like, share, and subscribe to this channel to get your daily podcast from the Goldilocks articles on the RVGCR. Brought to you by Freedom Fighter.
Hey, beautiful people, this is Freedom Fighter. I think we are here. I had a little quick moment of technical difficulties. It is January the 4th, 2025, Saturday Night Dialogues. I must say, Happy New Year. This is the very, very first call of Saturday Night Dialogues in the year 2025. This year is going to be the most memorable year, I would say, for many of you that are listening to this call, for the obvious reasons, we believe. We're going to get right into prayer because we have a jam-packed call with some amazing people bringing some amazing updates on meeting with their bankers and their wealth managers. And we have some very, very important articles regarding the global RV that we are going to share, and also an update as well from Iraq. All right. Father God, we thank you for allowing us, of course, to be here once again in your presence and again amongst each other, the people. Father, we know that there are some heavy snowstorms that are hitting a lot of people around the country. We ask that you help to keep people safe and sound, protect them with your angels and surround their families. Father, we ask that you allow us tonight to make sure that no matter what, while we are on this call, we're able to bring the message not from us, but really from you through us in order to deliver the message to the people. This is a chance of a lifetime, an opportunity that will never come again. And we're grateful that you have chosen us to be a part of it. In your precious name, we pray. Amen. Now, folks, real quick, some quick announcements. The Goldilocks QFS Dialogues Room, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Monday through Saturday. Folks, that room is growing like crazy. That is the room where we have a lot of fun, but it's a lot of education where people are learning the process of the RV by way of the articles that Goldilocks shares. We break them down. And then as well, that is where Wiley and myself help members to establish relationships with wealth managers. Yes, those are bankers. But I must say, it's not just Wiley and myself. It is the people, the actual members who are establishing these relationships, who are the ones reaching back and helping other members to do the same thing. It is truly, truly a beautiful thing to see. And I got to tell you, this is the Goldilocks QFS Dialogues Room is the only community, the only place in DINAR land that has this amazing group of people and the results of establishing relationships with bankers who are preparing to exchange our members' currencies. Many of them have had those open discussions, meeting with wealth managers, preparing for their generational wealth, planning their generational wealth with trusts, with family offices, so many different things. And these are golden nuggets that Wiley consistently drops into the room. And actually, we're going to touch on it today because Goldilocks has shared some new laws relevant to that. and we're going to touch on that. But the Goldilocks QFS Dialogues Room is amazing how it is growing, and it's almost for me a little unbelievable to a certain extent, because just 6 months ago, when I was ceremoniously removed from that old room, and I had no intentions on starting a new room, and I was just going to fade off into the sunset, continuously read Goldilocks articles since I understood them for myself, and just be prepared for the RV. And Goldilocks asked me to start a room. I kindly said no. Then with a little convincing, I says, okay, well, figure this out. I'll start a room, not sure what to do, how to do it. And then She-Hulk was the first one that popped up and came on over. And then so She-Hulk, myself, and Goldilocks, and then the members started coming in the droves. It was like a mass exodus. And then lo and behold, not too long after that, Wiley comes out of the shadows. He dusts off the dust and says, he's gonna get back in the game. And here we are in the Goldilocks QFS Dialogues Room, where you, the people, many of you are prepared for your exchange now by meeting physically with wealth managers. All started in the Goldilocks QFS Dialogues Room, 3,500 strong, almost 200 to 300 per week, growing. Then higher learning with Anastasia, Thursdays at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That is Anastasia, for those of you who don't know, is the young lady who introduced me to the RV 13, 14 years ago. An angel and higher being in the human form. Many of you know who she is. Powerful. Then D's room, that is where D drops many articles on the global RV. And then crypto finance with the amazing Dave Rose, Big Dog. Anything related to crypto, his room is where you want to be. And then the Goldilocks Global Banking News, daily podcast, the only podcast where daily facts and truth are dropped directly from Goldilocks articles, growing all around the world, over 13,300 strong, and rapidly growing, almost 1,000, less than 1,000 subscribers a week, rapidly subscribing to that channel. And folks, it is because of you, the people, the members in the room who are following the truth and the facts. And as Lady Unique loves to post in the room, receipts, the receipts of you, the people, that are literally going to the banks, following the steps, the 8 steps that we're giving you, and you're following them and getting the success in meeting with the actual bankers. There are many people coming to the room that want to just shortcut and just get the questions and try to go establish relationships at the banks, and then it's not working for them because they're not following the steps that you all are. They're not getting the education that we all are providing them. This is the only community in Dinar land. I don't ever like to say the word Dinar land, but it's what we all understand and know, the language we know. This is the only community where people are literally, legitimately establishing relationships with the actual people that are going to exchange your currency, with the actual people that are helping you to prepare for your generational wealth. And it doesn't cost you a dime. It doesn't cost anyone a dime to establish these relationships, and it doesn't cost you a dime to join the Goldilocks QFS Dialogues Room and meet the people who are where you want to be with having relationships with the actual bankers. We have members whose currency has been authenticated by the banks. Members who the bankers have told them, yes, we thought it was a scam years ago, but we know it's real now. We've gotten word from our higher ups, the RV is real, and the dinar will revalue. Specifically, one of the VPs told one of our members. Other members, it was a more of overall discussion. Not only members with tier one banks, but the wealth management departments in those banks and private wealth management firms. And they've all gotten the information directly from the Goldilocks QFS Dialogues room. This is the only place. It's no coincidence why the gurus are sending their trolls and haters to the room to try to sabotage us. No coincidence. It's okay. The people are now stepping up to protect the community. You know, it's like how in various, in the old days here in the United States or in various countries around the world where the people protect each other. That is exactly how it is in the Goldilocks QFS Dialogues room. Now the people recognizing the haters are coming and they're stepping up to protect our house. It's a beautiful thing. We have fun. We have fun, you know, cleaning up on aisle 10, introducing them to She-Hulk, but it's a beautiful thing. Folks, we have 3 amazing people that you're going to hear from tonight. Then we're going to get into how you will be able to assure that your wealth, the money that you're going to exchange into the banking system, how your money will be protected in case if there is a bank crash. There's actually a law that has gone into effect. Many of you probably never even knew. Goldilocks shared it. We had a podcast on it. We're going to go into detail tonight so you are aware there is a law, there's measures in place to protect you. I bet the gurus ain't heard about it because they can't even articulate it. Then we're going to talk about it. Yes, Iraq, something that they just announced directly from the CBI. Iraq is talking a lot. The CBI is sharing a lot. And then we're going to discuss about generational wealth and how your exchanged funds can generate it. We're going to hear from Alice, a new member, not new member, but fairly new, you haven't heard from. And then Kathy, whom you haven't heard from. And it's amazing. There are so many members. Let me tell you, yesterday in the Goldilocks QFS Dialogues room, it got so busy with members that were sharing their new stories of establishing relationships with the bankers at the tier one banks, wealth management firms that are going to be prepared for their exchange. It was so overwhelming yesterday. I literally didn't eat lunch. I couldn't move. I couldn't stop. I couldn't get off the computer. So many people that have just been sitting back, lurking, but watching, learning, taking notes, boom. And then today, more in the room. And we don't have enough time on the call for everyone to participate. So we have the amazing Alice who's going to share, and then Kathy, and then the one and only Lady Unique has another update that you're all going to hear from. And real quick, as it comes to my mind, Ty Saunders, if you're on the call, I want to acknowledge you. Raise your hand. If not, we're going to proceed. But just in case, Ty, if you are here, if not, that's okay. And you weren't prepared. This is something just came to my mind about you, Ty. If you're not here, that's okay. If not, we're going to proceed. Okay. All right. So I don't see you. Now we're going to, also the wonderful Peculiar Ram is going to read our articles tonight. And she's always so entertaining, funny, and just being herself. All right, Alice, if you can raise your hand and unmute, we're going to come to you. Let's get this party started. If I know you may not know how to unmute yet, but I'm going to give you a few seconds. Alice. All right, while she is figuring that out, It is a beautiful thing, folks. When we have so many people that are able to step up, share their success with the actual banks, and come back to the room and showing step by step what they've done, how they've done it, what they're going to do next, and then share it into the room. It is amazing. There you go, Alice.
Hi, good evening, everybody.
How you doing, young lady?
I'm doing terrific, you guys.
Good, good,
Just
good.
terrific.
Glad,
Yes.
glad, glad you're able to figure out how to unmute. It's good to hear your beautiful voice.
Yes, yours too. I'm just so excited, you guys. I've come so far in such a short amount of time as far as Goldilocks and Freedom Fighter and Wiley and everybody on that team. It's me. I'm guilty. I was a guru foo-foo and I'm not anymore.
Beautiful. I'm going to read something that you posted into the room. You had a few rapid fire updates back to back that you posted. I had to go back in the archives and pull them because it was just amazing. You said, "I will head home and do that now." I don't remember what was posted before that, but I'm just reading it. You said, "Woohoo! My heart is so happy, and now I have calls to make to friends and family to share what you all are teaching me, spreading the knowledge trickling down from you guys. Much appreciated, gratitude and love." Then you posted, I believe it was the next day. You said, "Good morning, folks. Reminding you all, I've made previous mistakes at this same branch. Just left our bank appointment with the banker. It went well. They will now call me back today for another appointment with the next tier banker. His name is blank blank, and he is the gentleman that I crashed and burned with before." Then you asked for suggestions, and then you had an update after that. You said, "Update. You left our number one meeting today with a quote. We'll call you shortly for your appointment with number two." Then you stated, "I needed to email the 9 steps questions from Wiley and had not heard back as of yet." So, folks, this is her giving her like play by play update. And she says, "I needed to email the 9 questions by Wiley and not heard back as of yet, as of Friday at 3:45, and wanted the appointment on the book before sending my email. Got straight through, knew who I was, a number two appointment on the books with wealth manager and prime client, both at the same time." Yes, Team Goldilocks, Freedom Father, Wiley, and the whole tribe. Happy weekend, everyone. Wow.
Yeah, wow, indeed.
Wow.
Wow,
So it's
indeed.
so it sounds like you had your appointment. You went in, you expected to get an email like days or so later, and then you got an immediate communication. Please kind of fill us in, summarize as brief as you can.
Okay, as brief as I can. So yes, every bit of what you just stated is absolutely true. What I would like to say is for people like me who have made made errors before in the process of how to do things in
Can you
order to
touch on
move
that?
forward.
Can you
Yes,
touch on that
yes,
as okay?
yes, because I definitely, now that we know what to do and in what proper order, and obviously we did not know at that time, I just got in my mind that I was just going to make complete course correction. So I had been to this bank on 2 other occasions. I set up an account 14 months ago and just left it set in
Mhm.
preparation for everything. So went to the bank. Everything you stated was completely true. Left there. I went in guns loaded with ammunition with all my questions. It didn't even come to that. When my husband and I went in, the gentleman just said, "What are you here for?" I gently explained, what we anticipated, what was to come, pled our case, and he just basically said to me, "Okay, if you're going to deposit this amount of money, you need this person. If you're going to deposit this amount of money, you need this person. And if you're going to deposit this amount of money, you need this person." And I said,
Mhm.
"I need that person." And he said, "Okay,
Mhm.
no problem. We'll make an appointment for you." So we did leave the bank on Friday without an appointment. I waited until about 3:45 because I had made the error of not emailing all of the questions prior
Mhm.
to the
Mhm.
appointment. So there's where my
Mhm.
course correction came in. So I
Okay.
waited until 3:45. I called the bank, got straight through, just as you stated. The gentleman that we spoke with on Friday said, I'm with a client. I'm going to go ahead and pass you over to the gentleman that I need to make the appointment with. He
Mm-hmm.
got on the phone immediately and made the appointment and asked me, would you like to make the appointment with me and the other gentleman? I think they knew who I am and what I'm doing because I had established. It actually ended up working out for our benefit in a roundabout sort of way, because we had the bank accounts already set up, and I had already been in there before and made all the mistakes. So I kind
Right.
of think they do remember who I am, but because of
Mm-hmm.
the way we conducted ourselves on Friday, they were like,
Come.
sure, come on in. We're glad to make your appointment. And I got it for Monday. So my appointments were Friday
Nice.
and Monday of this week.
Nice. So, and it's amazing because it was night and day between the first time and the next time that you went in there.
Completely night and day. And obviously how much appreciation for the group and all of you, and the amazing encouragement, the education. It's all amazing. But from my perspective, I just would like to say, anyone who is new, anyone who's nervous, anyone who's afraid, there's no need to be, because even
Mm-hmm.
if you've made mistakes, you can correct the course of it. It's not that hard. It's
Exactly.
it's
Exactly.
not.
Wiley, see you are here, my good man. Did you want to chime in here?
Yeah, if I can. Hey, Wallace,
Absolutely.
when you made your course correction,
Yes,
was
sir.
it not the biggest change in their attitude towards you and how they conducted business with you when you took the different approach versus kind of the language the gurus speak?
I couldn't agree. I couldn't agree with you more, Wiley. They, yes, it was a completely different attitude. And the very first time I went in 14 months ago, my particular branch was going through the guru people coming in, and I could feel it coming off of them.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, they told me, they said, you're
Wow.
not the first person that's come in here. And I could sense the frustration. And yes, it was completely different from Friday. Yes, sir. Absolutely. Hmm.
Yeah. And knowing what you know today about your investment and where you and your husband sit today, what would you tell somebody hearing this call and hearing you today? What advice do you have if they've heard other rooms or not, or just bought currency last week? What would you say to them?
Follow the steps
Uh-oh, I hear
so that you,
I hear hubby in the background saying,
yeah,
"Follow the steps."
he's here with me. Yes, he's here with me. Yeah, follow the steps, and just simply do not have to make the course correction that those of us that were doing it differently before had to. The second thing is if you are someone who has done the guru foo-foo stuff before, you really have to compartmentalize, separate everything you've already
Mm,
learned, get the terminology out of your brain and out of your mouth. And I sat down and went over my own notes as well as Wiley's steps. My husband and
mhm.
I actually practiced. We did a little bit of back and forth to
Okay.
able to, so that I could get that terminology out of my brain, and
Mhm.
then go in like almost, it sounds a little silly, almost like pretend I'm going into the bank. I don't know anything about DINAR. I'm just going in to interview this young man or young lady, whatever the case may be. And I
Mhm.
don't have my inheritance yet, but I
Mhm.
will. And all I'm doing is preparing for that inheritance and interviewing you. It was and just calm, cool, and collected. It's not hard. It's
Mhm.
just
How,
not, provided you
how,
do everything in the right order.
yeah, how powerful were those questions that you sent the wealth manager before to kind of level the playing field for them to take you seriously? Can you talk to that real quick?
Wiley, it more than leveled the playing field for me on a personal level. What it did is it gave me the ammunition that I needed to
Mhm.
change my course, get the terminology out of my head and out of my mouth, because now it's a whole nother set of questions that we've never heard before. It's the education you guys are giving that changes the playing field. It's
Exactly,
Mhm.
because
Yeah.
Mhm.
now you're talking to them in terminology and language they understand. What's on the internet is made up by people who
Mhm.
listen to other people and spew the same garbage.
Sure, absolutely. And for people like myself, and we've always been normal people, paid our bills, had good credit, all those things. But for those of us that have never been in any type of finance whatsoever, that terminology is also new. So
Yes.
adapt the new terminology that Wiley gives us and forget everything else. You have to let that part go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because when people go into the banks and say, "Oh, I'm part of the RVGCR," well, first of all, the bank has no clue what that is.
No, oh,
Mm-hmm. It's
no,
not their
You
no,
language.
go in
Not
there
their
and you start
language.
saying, "Oh,
no.
well, Jamie
We,
Dimon this and that," and they're like, "Well, okay, great. Oh, well, are you Basel 3 or Basel 4?" Well, they don't know. That
and
happens at a corporate level.
Riley, Wiley, every single thing you said, I did. I was Trish.
Mm.
Trish resonated with me in the stories. I sounded just like
I
Trish.
love
I was
Trish.
like, I think she was my spirit animal before all this started. So yeah, and when we go in and we start throwing those terminology around, we sound like aliens coming down out of these, UFOs or whatever. But they don't. We sound crazy, and that's what we have to lose that terminology. So
Okay,
you guys, I just cannot say how everybody says it. We all say we just cannot express how much we appreciate your health, your wealth of knowledge, the lessons. I've become an
generosity.
addict. Yeah, I've become an addict to the information and the education, and it's a lot of fun. And I just keep saying that I'm probably just going to be doing this the rest of my life.
You will be because wealth has to be managed and maintained.
Right.
It
Yes,
doesn't
sir.
just happen. You don't just set it and forget it. You have to keep building relationships with these folks to keep moving to the next level, keep doing the next thing and the next and the next and the next. And that's how you
Keep
grow.
diversifying.
And you will grow with these people as well. You will eventually outgrow them.
And I'm
Mhm.
really looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to the point where, I'm reading, I'm studying, and I call my financial advisor and say, hey, you've got me in this investment, but I've read this. Can we bounce
Mhm.
back and forth? I'm
Mhm.
looking forward to that point. And also, I just would like to toss one more thing in there, if I may. I
Sure.
do have friends and family that are also dinar holders that live a different lifestyle than I do. They don't have the time that I do. God has kind of put us in a unique position to where I have more time than a lot of other people. And so now I can pass the information, the wealth of knowledge that you have given me onto them. And I know that's your goal,
Mm.
but I want you
Yep.
to know that I am utilizing that and I am exercising the knowledge to pass on because I know that's what we're supposed to do. And I'm glad to do it. It's fun to pass it along.
But that's how we change things, right? We have to share what we know. When
Yes,
we
sir.
don't share it, we don't grow, and others won't grow with us.
Mhm.
I say I'm going to drag them along with me, kicking and screaming, whether they like it or not.
They will thank you in the end.
See,
Okay, guys. Thank you so
and
much.
that I have a question for you. But
Oh,
now
I'm
that
sorry,
you've
Freedom.
gone, no, you're fine. Now that you have gone through the phase of guru foo breath,
That's
cleaning it
right.
up, cleaning it up to where you are now, would you say that for all the folks that are listening to the gurus and believing them are doomed when it comes time to exchange?
Um, I for on my very own personal level, all I can tell you is when I woke up this morning, I felt a lot lighter than I have in a long time. I didn't even realize that
Mm,
I was weighted down by not having the knowledge until I
yes,
went to the bank and started to get everything in order. So
got it.
all I can do is answer that question from my
Yeah.
perspective. Do I feel
Mhm.
like if they don't prepare and have everything in order that it's going to be more difficult, the struggle's going to be harder? I've pictured in my brain what the bankers are going to look like and what they're dealing with, as
Mhm.
I call it. I feel like I got the fast pass at Disney, right? Right. I'm at Busch
Yeah.
Gardens, Tampa Bay, and I got the fast pass, and I want to be on the front seat of that roller coaster. That's where I'm at.
Right. But let
And
me ask you,
I
but I
feel,
want to ask you this. If you would have if you would have gone in without the knowledge you have now that you've gotten in the room, would you have been prepared?
no, not nearly as prepared as I am. No, obviously not. No, 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 no. But I
Okay.
also don't feel like I don't feel like anybody's completely doomed. I think that their trek is just going to be a lot, 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 lot harder than it needs to be.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Olive,
You
if I
know?
can, what was your plan before finding us?
Well, I had taken a lot of notes just by listening to all of your shows. I caught you guys really, really early on.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I had taken a lot of notes anyway, and I felt
Okay.
like I kind of had it,
Uh-huh.
because I'm not an unintelligent person, but something snapped in me about a week ago, and I don't feel at liberty to say on live, but
Okay.
it had to
Mm-hmm.
do with people not being nice, and I'm pretty good at
Mm-hmm.
righteous anger. So it it kind of I'm just being honest. So it kind of snapped in me. I was like,
Mm.
okay, enough of this. And
Mm.
I changed course. And I cannot express to you how glad I am.
Yeah.
So I know I feel like I'm talking out both sides of my mouth because I feel like I still would have been successful, just not nearly as successful as we are now.
Your
Because not
ramp
only
up would have taken longer. Yeah.
it would have taken a lot longer to get to where I am now.
Right.
So I hope that's a
Because
fair answer because I like being fair. I don't want to feel like anybody's going to totally, not make
No,
it because they
it's
don't. But it's just being prepared. Just fast passed on Space Mountain, man. That's all there is to it.
if I can, Alice, one more question. And because you've had your Trish moment, you went back, corrected, went back in. In all fairness, if you were on the other side of that table in the wealth manager's position, who would you have rather talked to? The
I would
guru breath
prefer
person
Alice
coming in,
today.
or somebody
I
that
would.
had the questions and the language, and somebody that was at a different level? Who would you
Oh,
want to sit down across the table from and entertain a business relationship going forward?
that question, there's absolutely no doubt whatsoever that I would prefer Alice today rather than Alice 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, and yes, it
mm.
does make their job a lot easier to accept us in. And like I said, I can only imagine what these bankers are going to be dealing with when
Yeah.
everybody else walks in the door.
Yeah.
I feel for them.
Well, that's why you can understand why the first time way back when with the Trish moment, and I don't want to keep saying Trish moment, but
It was a truth moment. It really
it was a
was.
different experience. Their reaction in response to you was what it was back then because you're in a total different mindset and education right now. So there are so many that are you were in the 99% before. You're in the 1% now.
Agreed.
The one
Yeah.
so 99% of the people are still in the 99%.
Agreed.
And it's
Yeah.
you know what I mean? So but with your story and sharing tonight, there is just like with Trisha's story and how she resonated with you. There's going to be someone that listens to this call and your story is going to resonate with them to
I
help
hope
them to
so.
get to the 1%.
Yes, I hope so. And that's exactly the story that I'm sharing with my friends and family that hold it is I've made these mistakes so you don't have to do that.
Yeah.
You don't have to.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I couldn't
And
agree with you more.
And folks listening to this, you don't have to make the same mistakes that Alice made, that Trish's made, that others have made. Now, if you make those mistakes, folks, it's okay. Like Alice said, we can help you fix it. We can help you clean it up. But, you got to consider how much time do you have to start. So things are moving at a rapid pace now, especially now that we're in 2025. So glad that Alice, you and your husband woke up 3 weeks ago and something just woke up within you and you got this journey started. Now you're on your way.
Yes,
What
thank
was
you, Freedom. Thank
What's
you.
Mr.
Thank you,
Olive have
Wiley.
to say? We haven't heard from him.
My husband is the greatest guy ever on the entire planet, but he's a little quiet.
That's all right.
We would
That's
love
all
to
right.
hear from him, his Mr. Quiet. Just a
I can
few
tell
minutes.
you, when we had our meeting today or
Yesterday.
sorry, the gentleman sat there and told us, well, y'all are obviously very prepared and I just need to get you into the next gentleman that can help you.
It went so fast. Honestly, I felt, Wiley, I went over your notes. I felt so well prepared and calm, cool, collected. And our appointment went so fast and so easy yesterday because he said to us, and we have other investments as well. And I don't know if I'm allowed to mention them here, so I won't. But we do have other investments as well. And he literally said, you guys are so prepared. You need this tier, this tier, this tier, depending on how much you're going to invest. I said, we definitely need that one. And he said, we need to make you an appointment with the next gentleman. It literally went so fast. I was like, that was too easy. I really felt that way.
She felt
No, and
jaded.
this is
Right?
why
I
we
felt,
tell you.
Questions.
yeah, I really, and I mean this with lightheartedness. I almost felt a little disappointed because I didn't get to pull out my guns. You know what I mean? Like I was ready. I was so ready, and I did not get to pull out my guns. And as I started to it's true. But as I started to process everything that had happened, I thought, no, I think they know. I think they know because
Now,
we
did they
were
get
so
into? Do they have? I realize they got a tier structure, but do they have everything kind of all encompassing for you all, like a CPA trust, or do they have folks that they can pass you out to, or hand you off to, and give you names of people they work with, or was this
Wiley.
all encompassing internally?
Two-part answer for that, Wiley. Yes, they do because of where it is, but those are the questions that I didn't get to ask, Wiley.
Gotcha. Okay.
So I know that
No,
they have it because I've
no.
asked those questions before when I was there, but I didn't get to do it this time, and that's okay because
It
the
sounds
appointment's
like you're
on Monday.
moving though, and you're going to get to that to the next guy. So what they were really doing is trying to figure out where you're going to
Placement.
fit within their structure, get you placed there, and get you established. And now you're going to build the relationship with that individual and those people around them going forward. And that's
And
how
that's
it starts.
exactly the way we felt, right, Sam?
Yeah.
That's exactly the way we felt when we walked out. So I will be super, super excited to be able to give you guys my report on Monday.
Awesome. And just a reminder before we go, they know what's going on. You don't think also they forgot all the guru foo-foo breath you went in there the first time with?
I think that the temperature was completely different. I think that we conducted ourselves exactly the way that you all have taught us to do. And I think that they've got a pretty good indication as to why we're really there.
Absolutely. Beautiful. You guys, you and hubby did an amazing job in preparing yourselves, going through the course correction, and then taking action. Congratulations, folks. Congratulations.
Thank you, everybody. We really, really, really appreciate you all. And like I said, I look forward to giving you our reports and continue learning for as long as you guys are going to be here. I saw your note today.
Yes.
Yeah.
Alice, who was it specifically that helped you in the room? Do you remember?
Well, Freedom responded to me immediately. Lady Unique responded to me immediately, and so did Zachary.
Okay. Yep. There's kind of our rising stars right there. I just
Yeah.
wanted to know so we can thank them
Lady
as well.
Unique was right on it, and she was right on it. Freedom was, and Zachary was too. Everybody's been exceptional, just exceptional.
Well,
So we love you
are.
guys, and God bless you guys for what you're doing for all of us. We just couldn't do it without you.
We're
Absolutely.
happy for you. We truly want everybody to succeed. We really do.
Yes, absolutely. And you'll be hearing from Lady Unique in a little bit as well. And
Okay.
She's here. She'll be the not the next person, but the one after her. You'll be hearing from. Yeah, she has an amazing update.
All right, good. Yay, right. I'm so excited. Okay, guys, I'll let you go.
All right.
We'll just hang out for a while. Bye-bye.
Sounds good. All right. Kathy.
Good evening.
Good evening. How you doing, young lady?
I am very well. Sounds like everyone's doing great.
Yes. I'm going to share your amazing update you posted in the room. You says, Monday, I met with my targeted Tier 1 exchange bank wealth manager for the third time. You said goal was to formulate specifics of the short term and outline the longer term plan to protect and grow my incoming wealth from day one. First is to get my primary trust in place, then add sub-trusts after. He still says they don't write trusts, but because of the Goldilocks team teachings, coaching, and information, our conversation went up a few notches. They have a regional CPA / trust attorney who works with clients with 10 million or more to help develop a structure and questions to take your personal trust attorney who will create the trust. Because of my confidence that comes from this Goldilocks team, he is scheduling a Zoom call with the attorney, and I'm on the list to attend her Q1 quarterly meeting in my city. Of course, we also discuss tax planning and real estate management, such as tax loss harvesting and being my own bank. Thank you, Goldilocks team, for sharing your knowledge and investing your time to help the community learn. You are a blessing to so many. Wow. You jam-packed a lot in these meetings. You talked about harvesting your own bank. You guys talked about your trust. Of course, that's for protecting and establishing generational wealth, and a sub-trust as well. Taxes. What didn't you cover? My God, you got it all jam-packed.
I tried to cover the bases, because my goal is that when we revalue, that I can just go in and push a button, transfer the money, and things just get put in place. That's my goal.
Smart. How long have you been in? You've been in the room for a while?
Ooh, probably about 4 months or so.
Okay, because yeah. And were you sitting back lurking and taking notes for a while?
I've lurked. I comment once in a while, but I lurk a lot. I'm usually doing stuff, so I don't get to jump on all the time.
Yeah,
but I listen.
I see. So, kind of take us through how this all started and to where it is now, if you can do that.
Sure. I got into the DINAR a few years back via a friend of mine who may be on. I haven't seen her on yet, though. And so as it's developed, it was a little bit on the guru foo-foo side for a bit. We went into one of the tier 1 banks that is her branch. When we were out to lunch one day, she had to go to the bank. So we went in and just talked to the wealth management people. And boy, I realized that the conversation just didn't go far because we didn't have any intelligent conversation, any topics to discuss with her other than DINAR. So that didn't go too far. She was very amicable, though. I said, okay. So I was in search of finding some more concrete information that would make sense and give me a better feel for, not just the redemption, not just the conversion side and the banking side, but also like the process side of what's happening.
How long ago was this?
How does the money get? Huh?
How long ago was this that you're sharing with us?
Probably a year ago, 9 months ago.
Okay. And if you can fast forward to when you started the process here, if you can do that, if you can fast forward there.
Okay, so what I did is I kind of lined out my plan of going to the tier 1 bank, but then I want to kind of have an independent person as well, independent company as well, to do some of the wealth management.
Wealth management.
Had an acquaintance from about 18 years ago that she did high net worth clients for investing. So her number's still on my phone. So I went to my tier 1 bank and set up an account and did an introductory talk with them, and then called her. And lo and behold, she's a private high wealth management VP at this and one of the independent companies that I'm familiar with. Okay. So I met with my tier 1 bank first to understand what their offerings are, and let them know that I have on the second meeting have some wealth that's I am expecting, and I need to work. I need a place to put the money. So got that kind of set up a little bit. We had the first introductory meeting where I sent them Wiley's questions first, and we discussed them at the meeting. And then I went and met with my independent wealth management group and did the same questions with them. And with them had, well, this was my acquaintance, right? Who's, I mean, we were friends, but we were, it was, I'll call her an acquaintance. She had her team online. I was live in her office and she had her team online for all the different areas, investments, real estate. And then they have two, not assistants, but two people who help facilitate their clients. And she has a $10 million limit on her for her to take people, but I could always go to someone else in her office if needed. So that went well. Then I let it rest for a while, for a few months. And then as it seemed like the RV was heating up, I called him back and said, hey, it's time to talk a little bit deeper. So went in and talked second level based off the notes I got from you guys, just putting things together in a list. I'm talking about trusts, taxes, asset protection, mortgages, that kind of stuff. So I did that with both the independent and the tier one bank. And so I think I feel really ready for the RV. I have a few more steps to make to do, but things are in good position.
Excellent. It sounds like you were extremely prepared, and with this previous relationship, you were able to capitalize off of that relationship, along with providing the questions by Wiley to solidify everything. It sounds like. Yeah,
it helped. Even in our last conversation where I said, I can't really tell you like an amount. I know a range most likely, but, and I went low on the range, which is under her range. And she was still okay with it because I go, odds are it's going to be a lot higher than that. Right. So, she was okay with it. So we're still working and we have, and I'm linking accounts, have an account set up with them too. I'm linking accounts with them because I want them to have the primary custodianship, of the wealth management portion.
Right.
So it's all good.
Excellent. Wiley, you want to jump in, my good man? Think you want to?
After everything she's went and done, I'd say school's out. She's covered everything.
There's still more. Yeah. I need you guys still. Don't go away.
You still got you. Yeah, sounds she has all the bases covered.
Yeah, and I bet the second conversation was a lot more amicable than the first one was because now you had some Q&A that you could lean on. You were talking at them at their level. Sounds like you'll probably work out of your friends tier. You'll probably be higher up than that. I would encourage you to diversify now that you have both of them on the hook. Don't limit yourself.
Yeah, that's the plan, is to go out. I have a whole other list of about 3 other banks that I want to go to. But, I like the concept of my independent wealth manager does a sweep, right? So they can sweep and put your money in different tier one banks. I like that concept, so I don't have to manage it as much. What do you think?
Was that like Intrify? Is that what they were talking to you about?
I don't know the exact name of it.
Okay.
They do a sweep though, right? So
that's what Intrify basically is, where they'll take your money, sweep them across their partner banks, so you don't have to worry about being beyond the FDIC limits, and it's all protected. Right. You log into one account, you see all monies, but it's spread across their partner banks.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So is that a reasonable way to go, or is it better to go in and establish the relationship yourself at those banks?
No. If they're going to do it for you, you don't have to go out and do all that introductions. They're doing it for you and managing it for you, and you still only have to have one banker.
I like that.
You don't need all those other bankers. It's not even worth the time to go do that, because when you're in the wealth management piece of it, the actual liquidity side of it, you're going to have access to, and not a problem. It's protected. Then when you have your assets under management, it's in a different form of protection.
Right. And they'll be within the trust and different things.
Absolutely. You're right on track with what you were doing. Yep.
Right. So that was okay. So I'm figuring if I have 3 financial institutions I'm dealing with, I don't want to have to add, more. I have things to do.
Right. Managing money takes work, but you're paying people to do it for you, so you don't have to do so much of this.
True. That's true. I like it. So your help has been tremendous, and just giving me, just providing the information to go in and have an intelligent conversation. It makes all the difference in the world.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
It does.
Well, thank you so much for sharing. Thank you. It was when you posted in the room this update, we were just floored because it was so detailed. I mean, it was just detailed. We love it.
Thank you. Thanks for all
and
your help and everyone's help.
You're welcome. Well, the tribe is here for you. Anything you need. And also for you and for Alice, please feel free to help in the room like others who are trying to get where you are. And because you guys are leaders as well in the room, and we appreciate you.
Absolutely. Thank you.
All right. Amazing.
Look forward to the rest of the call.
Awesome. 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 All right. The one and only inseparable Lady Unique. Young lady, please come to the mic. White glove treatment, VIP, 10 proposals is what I got 10 proposals. Folks, I got to give you a little backstory. Lady Unique, you all have heard Lady Unique, where she's the one that one of her first initial meetings at the Tier 1 bank, they told her that she was on their waiting list, their contact list, for the currency exchange. I guess you could say waiting list, contact list, same thing. Then she went back several meetings in, and they authenticated her currency on site. Then she established relationships with the wealth management department. Actually, it's a private wealth management firm that is actually connected to this Tier 1 bank. She went all the way up the chain, provided a spreadsheet of all of her currencies to the wealth management firm. Everything was fantastic. Everything was well. And then the wealth management firm asked her where she got her currency from. She told them the place, and they saw that this place also sells collectibles. And they were like, Miss Lady Unique, we're not sure if your currency is okay. You got it from a place that sells collectibles. Lady Unique said this is a unique situation. She called 911. It's a fire. So Wiley and myself, and we had to wrap our arms around her with love. She did a little two-step on him, and she was able to establish a relationship with a different private and bigger wealth management firm. And it's bigger and better than ever. It was superb, magnificent. They know where she got her currency from. They know what she has. They talked about trust, family office, generational wealth. It is all good. Then her ex, who told her that since she got these from a place that sells collectibles, the ex wealth management firm now wants to be the next wealth management. They don't want to be the X anymore. They want to be number one. So I think it was yesterday you had this meeting.
Yep.
Yeah. So did I get it right? The X now wants to be the next. You see how this works out with you? They want to propose to you all over again. Oh, Miss Lady Unique, you got your currencies from a place that sells collectibles. We want a divorce. Oh, next then a month goes by, Lady Unique, we would like to renew the vows and propose to you all over again. so it sounds like that's what happened.
And ain't nothing happening. Okay, they lost.
They lost.
Okay, they lost.
You done moved on.
Hey, I done got me a new diamond ring. Okay. Well, good evening, man. Everybody. Good evening. Alice, girl, I'm so happy for you. I was sitting up here listening to you, and almost had tears in my eyes.
Wow.
I mean, just being so happy, knowing that, I mean, like Freedom Fighter, you got everybody say we in there to help each other, and just listening to you. I've heard others, and I appreciate what's been helped with me, with Wiley, Goldilocks, but when we help each other, I call it a new wave of generational wealth.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I call it. So I'm proud of you. I'm happy to hear you and your old boy doing the dang thing. Do it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's awesome. It's awesome. And Kathy, you keep rocking, girl. Okay. Diversify is okay. Do your thing.
Right.
But
right.
okay, now
So
let me
yes. So that's all right. That's all right.
Yeah,
So,
now let me start singing now.
Yeah, there you go. Charlie Wilson.
That's
You were
right.
shouting.
Ain't no
You was
stopping us now.
you was shouting Charlie Wilson last night.
Yes, I was.
So
Yeah,
they called you back in, wanted you to come back.
Yeah. Well, here's
Fill
how.
us in. Go ahead.
Yeah. So, actually, after that whole episode that Free Father just summarized for you guys, I did move on, and they helped me out, and I found another firm that doing the same thing, going to follow Wiley's steps and all that. This firm was so off the chain that I had another episode where they answered and told me what they did before I could even, get it. I did my basic with them, and then that's how they responded back to me, calls and all that kind of stuff. So fast forward. Then was waiting for, they said all we need to do was wait, just wait for when the time came. So
for the exchange.
I got for the exchange. They said, when it's time, we all set, ready to go. We got, your team's in place, yada, yada, yada. And I'm like, okay. Well, I get this call from my senior banker right after Christmas and wanted to meet with me yesterday. So I'm like, oh, okay, fine. So I go in, and right before our meeting, she sent me a message and said, by the way, the former management team assistant VP wants to, also step in, in our meeting. And I'm like, okay, what they want. Okay. But, keeping it professional. So I go to the meeting to meet with my senior banker, and she introduced me to an associate senior banker that's working with her. And we had it was more of like she was giving the opportunity for me to meet this new banker. And also we discussed briefly wealth management. My senior banker evidently was on top of everything. She said, and so she said, and I'm sure you have a new wealth management firm working with you. And I'm like, oh, I certainly do. She said, when we're ready to go, we can all work together. She's also mentioned to me, which I had already said I was going to do, but she really pushed to. I already have an account there. I've been there for years. She says we're going to make sure that you have a separate account for this, and
for your exchange.
For my exchange, right. And that was my plan anyway. We had talked about that before, but she kind of really reiterated that statement. Okay. And so she also told me when the time comes, she said, you come here. She said, if I get any information prior to that, I'll give you a call, but you'll probably know before me. She said, just give me a call. Here's my cell phone number. Give me a call.
It sounds like what she's saying is that you may know when the RV happens before her.
Right. She just said she was covering. I bet she was covering it. She said, you may know before me.
Right.
But she was telling me, like, as soon as she gets the word, when we can go forward go forward. That's the word she used. When we can go forward.
So, folks, RV is my word with Lady Unique. That's not the bank's word. I'm just so that you know.
Yeah. So, and while we were almost wrapping up the meeting, that's when the assistant VP of the wealth management team happened to knock and my senior banker waved her in, and
Mm-hmm.
she came in and she said, she spoke. She said, "Hello, you know what? I want to congratulate you. And perhaps I
Mm-hmm.
know good things are going to happen for you. And proud to see that happen with you, young lady. And maybe we might be able to be yet another investment team that you may want to use, maybe for something. You might have a separate project or something. I'm just letting you know. You know, she just being very, very, very polite. And I will be
Uh-huh.
honest. I will be honest. I think I got the vibe from her that uh, she was mopping up behind the guys
Mm.
that I had that initial because they were
Yes.
all on board. So
Yeah.
I'm just glad that I was turned on. I was introduced to another team, wealth
Mm-hmm.
management team, and let them know. And I
Mm-hmm.
did follow up and let him know that I had my conversation with the bank, and he just sent me he had sent me a message saying Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, but he sent
Mm-hmm.
me an email back. It was in bold.
Ah.
That's good.
He wanted to make sure that you got that message.
Yes, yeah.
Mm.
So bottom
Mm-hmm.
line to that, guys, is some people say they stumble, and I say this all the time in the room. And I want to also say it again to Alice, and I know she knows because I just to hear her say, and I
Mm-hmm.
read, when I was trying to help her out in the room,
Mm-hmm.
guys, if you're still out there stumbling or whatever, don't look at it as a stumble to fall. It's a stumble for the next step up.
Mm-hmm.
Keep
That's right.
going. Know what your plans are. We got the instructions from some rock stars, Wiley, Freedom Fighter, and Goldilocks. We got it right there.
Mm-hmm.
Take the time. I was also in Guru Fufu land, but I left that stuff a long time ago. However,
Right. Right.
however, I'm glad that I found these guys. I know I say it all the time and I can't say it enough. I'm glad I found these guys.
Mm-hmm.
So hang in
Beautiful.
there, do it, follow
Beautiful.
follow the steps. Follow the steps. That
Mm-hmm.
guru stuff, uh-uh.
Yep.
No, that's over. So
Beautiful.
as
Yeah.
for right now I'm just sitting back, tweaking my little other stuff, my little plans, and learning how to talk real investment talk. I got my little summaries of what things that I want to move on, things
Mm-hmm.
that I did present to my new wealth management team, and they were like, yes, yeah. And they were blowing my mind with it. So
Wow.
now now I ain't no genius. I'm just saying, it's just me. I'm still doing my homework so that I
Right.
can speak the language and get understanding. So when they tell me something, I can be like, "Oh yeah, okay." Or I
Mm-hmm.
got to keep an open mind to want to learn it. But
Mm-hmm.
now's the time for me,
Right.
and I'm sure for others, is as we go through this, learn what we're getting into. Because I'm going in with something my dad used to say all the time. Well, we got to get to that point, girl, where you let your money make money.
That's right. That's what Wiley says all the time.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah,
And I
dad would
know
say it. Yeah.
I see Alice and PR had their hands up. Ladies, Alice, did you want to say something to Lady Unique and PR? I see you had your go ahead.
I just want to say how much I love Lady Unique.
Oh,
I
I love you
I
too.
just love her so much. She was very patient with me the other day, and
Mm-hmm.
I just appreciate you so much, girl. And also, I would like to say that I really, really, really enjoyed what Kathy had to say because,
Mm-hmm.
as
Yes.
I was stating earlier, people like me who have always been very normal bill payers and just good credit and take care of business, and I really appreciate people like Kathy who have more financial experience than someone like myself because I learn from them too. I'm telling you, it gets very addictive. All of this gets very, because you want to know everything you can about everything. And we
Yep.
know at this point it does not work that way. And you have to be patient with yourself, but the
Mm-hmm.
tenacity, and Lady Unique just made this very valid point. I'm it. I was the one who messed up, like many of us, but I made the mistakes. But I have never, ever, ever wanted to quit, keep moving forward. And I think that's what
Mm-hmm.
happened a couple of weeks ago was I was like, I got to keep going. So I just
That's
want to
right.
say thank you to Lady Unique for helping me out. Thank you to Kathy. And yeah, that's pretty much it. It's just, this is
Beautiful.
all just so fascinating, so fun, so encouraging, so enlightening. Everything positive that you can possibly think of. That's what this is.
Oh, we're glad to
Beautiful.
hear that. I'm glad I could help.
Beautiful.
All right.
Beautiful.
I'll
Thank
cut
you.
out.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank you. Thank
guys.
you.
I'll cut out.
All right. Wiley, you want to chime in with the amazing Lady Unique?
Oh man, I tell you, I feel like a new dad watching his child start crawling, to start walking, to start
Right.
running. Now
Right.
she's got the keys to the car and she's off to college and
She
she don't
rolling.
need dad no more.
No more.
Your fault. I done told you it's your fault, Uncle Wiley. It's your fault. But I love it.
Oh, don't think haven't forgotten where you started and where you are. I mean, I remember
Yeah.
when this one wealth manager, the ex, he gonna say, "Well, you get in here. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do this." And you're like, oh, "Hold up a minute. I'm the captain of this ship." He goes, "You just sit
Mhm.
back. I got this." You're like, "That ain't how it rolls." You showed him the door, and you
Right.
went
Right.
on to bigger and better things. And all of a sudden, they're calling you back, and you're like, "Man, I ain't got
Mhm.
time for that call."
That's right. That's right. That's
Ain't
right.
nobody got no
That's
time for
right.
that.
You remember
Not
that,
even.
Freedom?
Uh,
It wasn't
Yeah.
just a month ago. She blowing them off. She's like, "I ain't
yeah.
got time to go back to
That's
that.
it.
I got bigger and
Yeah.
better. I got
That's
concierge level service now."
it.
Right.
Yeah.
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 Literally at her new firm.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
they calling her back talking about, can we be a part of your team again?
Yeah,
No.
yeah, we're sorry
No.
about what happened. I think they realized that they made a misstep and you weren't kind of
Mm-hmm.
communicating anymore, that they knew there was a problem. Yeah,
That's
Mm-hmm.
right.
someone
Because I
had to go
told you.
clean up.
Yeah. Because I told you they had called me back, but I never returned the call.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because
I
you
never
already
returned
done,
the call.
because you already done found a new boo. You don't
That's
need to.
right.
Freedom
I
fighter.
still
I'm
have.
literally I'm literally talking with her to like, I know you're happy, but don't do the happy dance in the bank room. Save that for the
Right,
car or keep
right,
it
right,
restrained and let's do that at the house.
right.
Yeah, and if I can't, if you guys don't mind, I want to throw something in here real quick.
Go ahead.
And I shared it in the room. Um, I had another wealth management meeting that I didn't put in the room, and Uncle Wiley called me out. I have no idea how he figured that out, but anyway, it was. And this is for those that. And this is just. Not that I'm just validating or or putting my 3 cents in about what Freedom Fighter was sharing about shortcutters. This wealth manager that reached out to me and the way he addressed me, I was willing to, okay, at least talk to him. But he invited me, wanted to know if we could have a cup of coffee, or he said he'd like to meet with me. Because his opening statement to me was like, my questions that I had sent to their system, they stood out to him. And as
Mhm,
we were sitting there talking, he explained that their company was receiving a lot of um, the places where you can go online and ask these questions and then they respond to you. Well,
mhm,
they were getting a lot of confusing and nonsense type questions. So they were
mm,
not returning these people's calls or responding to them. And he
mhm,
had went back and he said something about yours, got something about mine, got his attention. So he wanted to reach out to me and and
mhm,
and
mhm,
uh and have a conversation with me, and which we spoke, and I shared my goals and expectations, but I said I already have a wealth man. I figured you would. He
hmm,
gave me his card and said, just in case, it's nice meeting you, but here's my card.
mhm,
So I'm telling you guys, the guys that come in shortcut, try to grab this information, or you being nice, somebody shares it, and I'm not belittling anybody, guys. I'm just
mhm,
telling you the truth from where I sat, from where Freedom Fighter sits, and what we see in the room. But I actually heard this from a wealth manager representative, that they were getting some crazy stuff from people that they weren't even responding to. But he said
mm,
something about mine made him go back and look. And that's
mhm,
what made him want, because it was different from, I'm not sure where they were coming from,
mhm,
but to me, it sounded like these were people that were trying to shortcut, and get in any way without going through all the steps.
Yep.
Follow the steps, family. Follow the steps. You knew, follow the steps. Come in the room, like we say, and ask questions. We'll answer them.
Right. Wiley, what this sounds like is people coming to try to reinvent the wheel for themselves and not having any success.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the problem is if they're going to shortcut this, have they shortcut everything their whole life? Because that ain't going to work in wealth. It won't work. You're going to sell yourself short. You're going to wind up in trouble, and you're going to wind up learning lessons the hard way that'll cost you more in the long run than if you just did it the proper way to begin with.
Right.
That's it.
Lady Unique, girl, I'm telling you what, you are right up there in my book with some of the top 5 I'll remember in this forever.
That's right. That's right.
Well, you in my book. You're free. Y'all in my book too. All right. So, but yeah, again,
you were like clay, and we just gave you a little, and you did the rest. And I couldn't be prouder. I could not be happier. Every time we speak or we chat, you blow me away at the bar you set. And this ain't even stuff we've even touched with people that you're going and achieving.
Yeah, you're right. A lot of stuff has to remain private that she's done.
Exactly. This is not stuff for the open thing. But I don't worry about her, freedom fighter. I don't. Lady Unique, she's off to the races. Man, I won't be surprised if one day the little people like me might be hearing from her.
By no means, I mean, come on now. You're not little, man. I'm telling you, you guys are just,
beautiful.
Yeah.
No, we're just so happy for
proud
you.
of you.
We are. I tell you what, you're not a weed, but you're like one of those fast growing things that you just take a little water and pow.
She's off.
Yeah, you're a tree stalk next. I'm just man.
Girl on a mission, girl on a mission.
And thank
what
you.
I love about you is even the setbacks did not set you back.
That's
you
right.
Step back. You reached out to me in freedom. Say, hey, this happened. What do I do? We simply asked, what do you think I need to do? And you said, well, I want to go talk to these people. Go do that. You're coming back same day. Hey, I talked to him. Got a meeting. What? Oh, that quick? I'm like, what do you have or what is it that you just seem to get doors opening and opening and opening? It's just phenomenal. And if I truly wish one day that you could say, hey, here's where I went, here's what I did, but no, we don't want to do that because people would be flabbergasted.
Because she puts a lot, the effort. We see the effort, People in the room might see that you're not in there for a couple of hours, but in the background with Wiley and myself, you're letting us know that you're studying, you're reading this, you're preparing that, you're getting this together, you're getting that together. You are amazing. You're putting in the effort and the work, and it's amazing because you do all of this, and you'll never have to worry about it again in the rest of your life. You set the foundation with these relationships that you've established.
That's the plan. Well, you guys help me do it.
What makes you so unique is I know you started this journey with a partner.
Yeah.
And that didn't quite materialize to the end. And it's very disheartening to hear that it is because a lot that's happened to a lot of folks in this journey over the number of years. And you've had to pick up and you've had to learn all of this on your own. And you've had to step forward into that, how Freedom Fighter says, being uncomfortable in uncomfortable things. And you took that, you embraced it, and you stepped out, and you just keep knocking it out of the park each and every time I visit with you. And sometimes it's 3 and 4 times in a week, and you keep setting the bar higher and higher and higher. And I'm sitting here feeling like, Wiley, you're kind of lazy. Look what girls do.
Right.
No. I got some valuable assets, and I'm supposed to, make sure that I take care of my assets. So y'all is my assets, and you guys got the knowledge to help me share for the growth and to help us all share for the growth. And this old girl right here, You know, I'm.
That's beautiful.
I
Beautiful.
told you. I loving
And
y'all guys. I'll tell you.
we love you
Well,
too.
what we love
Beautiful.
about you is you've reached back and you didn't
Yep.
forget anybody and you keep
Yeah.
coming to the room and you keep lifting members up. That's
Yeah.
what we love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
it. That's it.
Ain't that
You're
ain't that
such an
what we supposed to
amazing
do?
leader. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. And you're doing it. We appreciate you, beloved. We appreciate you.
Yeah.
Appreciate you guys.
All right. Hang on tight. We're going to get to these articles. Amazing news on actually these topics of wealth management. Folks, anyone listening to this call, YouTube, whatever it may be, you can click the link at the top of the description and you are able to join the Goldilocks QFS Dialogues room to meet members just like Lady Unique, Kathy, Aulis, and others who have already established relationships with the actual bankers that are going to exchange their currency, wealth managers that are going to help grow their wealth. Doesn't cost you a dime. You can meet other members, the tribe, the team that is here to help you to be where they are. You have a golden opportunity to do the same thing. Many of the members that you've heard from, these ladies and other members, they were at the point of constantly believing and hearing every weekend, every week, every holiday, every meeting in Iraq. The date is happening, is happening, is happening. You have to get to a point where you take control of your own destiny, because a lot of you don't even realize that you've become enslaved to the gurus who are just preying on your needs, your vulnerabilities, your weaknesses, and your desires. You have a golden opportunity to take control, just like these members who are one time were exactly where you were. But we're going to get into some very, very insightful articles, and it's going to be brief. It's not going to be long, but it's going to show you where we are at in the process of this RV and how it's developing for Iraq, yes, and also for the global RV. So that is with any of the other currencies that you may hold. And the members in the Goldilocks QFS Dialogues room, they've been following the articles by Goldilocks. So in advance, they've known what was going to happen before it happened. So they're no longer on the roller coasters of hearing and believing every weekend, every week, all that garbage. They're no longer on the roller coasters of the redemption centers. And if you even Google redemption center near you, our members are no longer on that. They have a peace, a comfort, and establishing the relationships with the actual bankers that are going to exchange their currencies. You just heard Lady Unique, where she is with the wealth managers, letting her know when this happens, they are ready for her. Her team is in place. She's, like she would say, she's sitting on ready. But many of you listening to this, you are waiting for a notification that will never come. It doesn't exist. It's never existed for 20 plus years. That many of the old gurus and the new age millennial gurus on Twitter and wherever else they're at, that they're saying to you all these dates. Oh, this is happening now. Okay, it's going to happen on such and such date. This is happening now. It's going to happen on such and such date. This is happening now. It's going to happen on such and such date. This is the way it's been for 20 plus years, folks. It's all a game. Oh, you take your Zims to the redemption center and you have your projects and your tranches. You're going to be a gazillionaire. my high-level sources, my high-level contacts, and they tilt their glasses on their live streams. Wink, wink. Folks, no relationships, no high-level contacts. The members in our room, they have their own high-level sources. They have their own bankers, their own VPs of the banks. We even got members meeting with the owners of the banks. It's not as if these people, all of them have a PhD in finance, financial backgrounds. They're normal people just like you. But you've been programmed to believe that you need someone on the internet who is claiming to be in the know, that they have something and information that you don't have. For the Goldilocks Global Banking News podcast every day, the link directly to the CBI showing the rate of the dinar is right there. If you want to fact check people telling you all these different rates and dates, just go right to the CBI and see the rate for yourself. All right. Peculiar Ram, you ready to get into this, young lady?
Let's go.
You ready? And congratulations, your good friend who just got his appointment set.
Cabal Juno L, yeah.
Papa Chulo.
Papa Chulo, yeah. Well, yeah, I know him by something else, but yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
okay. Did you mention his government name on this call?
No,
but wow.
Government name.
Okay. But yeah, so it looks like he's on his way.
That's exciting.
Yes.
I didn't even know, so that was news to me. So I was very proud.
Yeah, that's good. He says he's just been lurking in the background, and he finally got off the couch, and he's on his way. Beautiful.
Yeah.
All right. We got some amazing articles that we are going to, folks, you got to know, and we're going to share it. It's coming right to you. We're Goldilocks. A lot of people probably missed it, but something very significant, a law regarding our money in the new banking system, pertaining to foreign currency, pertaining to wealth in the banking system, went into effect on December the 20th. Did it not, Peculiar Ram?
It sure did.
Now, Peculiar Ram, when you see in this article where it says the broker dealer, instead of saying the broker dealer, I would love for you to say the wealth manager. Even though the name of the law, folks, is the broker dealer customer protection rule, for the intents and purposes for you to understand what this is, I'm going to ask Peculiar Ram to say the wealth manager customer protection rule. But the name of it is the broker dealer customer protection rule. Let's go, my beautiful lady.
Okay, first article. The broker dealer customer protection rule.
Did you not hear me just say the wealth manager?
Oh, the wealth manager.
Is your alarm clock? Get your alarm clock.
Should I say the wealth manager rule?
Yeah, you can. You can say the wealth manager protection rule.
The Wealth Manager Protection Rule, also known as Rule 15C3-3, primarily affects foreign currency exchange by requiring broker-dealers handling Forex transactions to segregate customer funds from their own proprietary funds, ensuring that customer money is protected. Even if the go ahead.
Hold on. You're fine. Hold on. Breathe. So, folks, this is foreign currency by requiring broker dealers. So this is the wealth managers that are handling Forex transactions to segregate or to separate your money from their money. That's what this is referring to. Okay, you can start. You can go ahead by ensuring, beloved. You can go ahead.
Ensuring that customer money is protected, even if the firm faces financial difficulties, and must treat any unsecured portion of a receivable from a forex transaction as a non-allowable asset, limiting potential risk to the customer.
So this is limiting the risk of your newfound wealth. Your wealth, your money in the banking system. This is protection now. In the event if there are financial difficulties. In fact, I don't know if I recall. I don't know if it was Glass Half Full or someone else. Whoever was on the call where you mentioned that when you met with your wealth manager, and they actually talked to you about this about a week or so ago, that if the bank fails, your money is protected. Whoever that was, please raise your hand. We'll acknowledge you later because I remember it was someone. I just don't recall exactly who it was. Okay, you can continue. Key points, Peculiar Rand.
Key points about how the customer protection rule impacts foreign currency exchange. Segregation of funds. Wealth managers must maintain customer forex funds in separate accounts, distinct from their own operating funds, to prevent commingling and safeguard customer money. Reserve requirements. Firms must maintain sufficient reserves in the form of cash or qualified securities to cover the net amount owed to customers on forex transactions.
You see the protection that they're putting in place for these forex, for these currency exchange transactions, to make sure that they don't the banks and the wealth management firms don't mix your money with other money, so that if something happens in the banking system, your money's protected. Go ahead, beloved. You can continue.
Reporting obligations. Wealth managers are required to accurately report customer forex positions and transactions to regulatory authorities. Risk management. The rule incentivizes forex brokers to implement robust risk management practices to mitigate potential losses for customers. Important considerations. Retail forex market focus. While the customer protection rule applies to all customer funds, it is particularly relevant for retail forex trading, where individual investors may be more susceptible to risks.
Now, this next part that Peculiar Ram is going to read is very important, and many of you in the Goldilocks QFS Dialogues room, especially thanks to Wiley, have been showing you about FINRA and checking the background of the persons that are going to be managing your wealth, checking the background on the firms that are going to grow your wealth. Where this is FINRA, again, this is something that you all must realize. This is where you got to think, folks. Can you check the background of the individuals at the recycling centers? I mean, redemption centers? Can you check them on FINRA? Okay, go ahead, Peculiar Ram. You already got me laughing.
I didn't say anything. FINRA oversight. The Financial Industry Regulatory Authority, FINRA, enforces the customer protection rule for wealth managers, including those involved in foreign exchange transactions.
Boom. FINRA, for those that don't know, she read it, but I'm going to reemphasize it. FINRA, F-I-N-R-A, the acronym stands for the Financial Industry Regulatory Authority. FINRA, F-I-N-R-A. So, folks, this is where, and Wiley has been so amazing at sharing this in the room, how our members, for all the members you're hearing, that are meeting with bankers, meeting with wealth managers, preparing for their exchange, preparing for their wealth ahead of time. They're able to go on the FINRA website. They're able to check out the institution, and they can see if a wealth manager has 20 years experience or 8 years experience, if they have any disclosure, if they have any issues, any red flags, they can check them out ahead of time.
Yeah.
This is what Peculiar RAM is reading to you. And now this regulation, this new, in fact, Peculiar RAM, when did this new amended regulation law go into effect?
December 20th.
And what is the agency?
The Securities and Exchange Commission.
The Securities and Exchange Commission, folks, of which, yes, currencies fall under. Remember, we're talking about Forex. Wasn't there someone, you all may not know, but we know there was someone who likes to troll Goldilocks, claiming that currencies have nothing to do under the umbrella of the SEC. The SEC has nothing to do with foreign currency exchanges. What does this say, Peculiar RAM? Isn't this from the SEC?
Mm-hmm. SEC adopts rule amendments to the broker-dealer customer protection rule December 20th, 2024.
And this has everything to do with, like you just read, key points about how the customer protection rule impacts foreign currency exchange.
Mm-hmm.
The segregation of funds to separate one's currency exchange funds from other money, reserve requirements, reporting obligations of those exchanges.
Risk management. Mm-hmm.
Risk management and retail Forex market. This is all currencies.
Mm-hmm.
This new law, folks, went into effect to protect us on December the 20th, just a few weeks ago. Now, Debo and Glass Half Full. Debo and Glass Half Full, if you ladies can unmute. Okay, I think I saw you guys. It must have been you guys. So was that at your you guys meeting with your wealth managers? They went over this a few weeks ago?
I'll speak on that. When I first went into my second wealth manager, I asked, how do my funds become protected if the bank should fail? And she explained this whole process to me and actually sent me documentation to read and everything about it. So she set me at ease and said that it was a separate trust that they had, that was separate from the bank itself.
Yep. Your money's protected because it's not in the bank.
Right.
Boom. That's boom. So here we have, and yes, thank you, ladies. You guys, amazing. So here we have Debo and Glass Half Full. You ladies, you got this firsthand information from your wealth managers, and now here we have a new amended law rule that went into effect on December the 20th to confirm exactly what Debo and Glass Half Full, you ladies just mentioned from your wealth managers. Isn't it amazing? Wow.
It is.
Yeah,
Wow.
truly.
Wow. So if Debo and Glass Half Full, it was great, Glass Half Full. You asked that question, but here you have the confirmation with the actual law.
Right. Yep.
That these banks, that your wealth management firms are following. Beautiful. Thank you, ladies. I was trying to remember. I thought it was Glass Half Full, but I should have known Debo was in there.
I want to know my money's not going anywhere.
That's right. Doesn't it make you feel even more secure that when you exchange and the wealth management firm, you move your money to the wealth management firm to manage and grow your wealth, that there's extra protection in place so that if the banks crash and fail, your money is safe.
You bet.
It's ironic. When I read that, I got up and started dancing.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, we don't got to worry about nothing now.
I know that's right.
Yeah. Actually, beautiful, beautiful. And then as well, just like with Intrify, where Wiley just mentioned a few minutes ago and that he shared in the room, there's other additional protection mechanisms to protect your money in the banking system, all being shared in the room. And we have actual beautiful members that are, as Lady Unique says, receipts. The receipts in the room.
Verification.
Verification. I love it. Thank you, ladies. Thank you, ladies.
Sure. Okay.
All right.
Goodbye.
All right. Appreciate it. Bye-bye. It's so silly. Oh, man. All right. Now I'm going to read a very short article from Iraq, and then we are going to share another amazing, which is additional confirmation of what Debo and Glass Half Full just mentioned and what Peculiar Ram just read as far as protecting your money. Now, who wouldn't want their money? You're coming into millions. Some of you may be billions. Some of you think trillions. Wouldn't you want that money to be safe and protected? Well, here you have laws that are in place specific to wealth management. Why do you think Goldilocks, Wiley, and myself has been so focused on you all establishing relationships with the banks, with these wealth managers? Imagine for those that have no clue of these protections for their money. All right, I'm going to read this next one. This is directly from the CBI. And this is a quote directly from the CBI. Quote, "We would like to inform all licensed banks and all licensed non-banking financial institutions that Global Odime Hizmet Larry is allowed to provide foreign remittance services within a credit agreement concluded within the CBI, in addition to Western Union and MoneyGram." Folks, this company that Iraq, the CBI, just added on board is a global foreign exchange company, similar to Western Union and MoneyGram. Western Union and MoneyGram has been in all the meetings in the U.S. with the U.S. Treasury and the Federal Reserve when Iraq came here to the States, and then in all the meetings, not all, a majority of the meetings with the CBI in Iraq, Western Union and MoneyGram was there for a specific reason, along with Oliver Wyman, KPMG, Ernst & Young, Citibank, JP Morgan. Iraq just brought on board, they had two global foreign exchange companies, Western Union and MoneyGram, that's been there for a while. Now they brought on another foreign exchange company, global foreign exchange company. No coincidence that Iraq is bringing this other global foreign exchange company on board so that more Iraqis can access the dinar no matter where they're at in the world globally. But then also for anyone in the world to access dinars, they'll be able to do so through this new company that they just brought on board. And this is directly from the CBI. This is an additional giving Iraq a global, and the dinar, a global footprint in the world. This is a part of Iraq preparing the dinar for international status. Before they brought this particular company on board, this global foreign currency exchange company, this was a part of the new digital law that they passed that was posted in the Gazette a few weeks ago. This is all a part of it in preparation. No coincidence. Iraq is preparing. They are putting all the necessary steps in place to prepare the dinar to go international. This is just an additional. So when you have Iraq bringing on another global foreign currency exchange company, it's not because they expect to use less than ours. Goldilocks has always shared, and this is something you all have to remember about supply and demand. Supply and demand is what drives a currency value up. The demand for the dinar is about to go up, which will drive the price up. So this global foreign currency exchange company they just brought on board is also to help for the demand, to provide for the demand of the Iraqi dinar globally. I hope you're picking up what we're putting down. All right, Peculiar Ram, let's get to the next, wealth management. Again, key folks, this is why we're hitting you about wealth management and the importance of it. We know a lot of people were thinking, oh, you're just going to go and redeem those collectible bonds and you're going to be a trillionaire. And then all of a sudden, you'll just buy yachts and multi-billion-dollar homes and properties and all this stuff, and no wealth management, no generational wealth.
That's wild.
Does that make sense to you, Peculiar Ram?
No, not at all.
Folks, you must realize what wealth management does. Whatever amount of money you exchange and you have in wealth management gives you the opportunity to never lose that money, to never go broke. That money that you exchange, let's say, let's speak math. Let's say if it's $5 million US, whatever currency you have, you exchange it and it's 5 million US. Just imagine that 5 million US turning into 10 million US in 12 months, 24 months, or turning into 20 million, 30 million, 40 million. You can start out with 5 and end up with 40 in just a couple of years. Why? How? Wealth management. And you just heard the new law amendment went into effect on December the 20th. No matter what happens in the banking system, your money's protected. Who in the world would think to exchange, become wealthy, and have no plan to grow that money? But you have projects that you're going to fund? Okay, let's say you pay for those, you fund those projects. Most of them are going to be nonprofit humanitarian projects. They're not going to make you money.
Right.
Well, does that right? It's not going to make you money. It's not. It's humanitarian. You're not doing it for profit.
Mm-hmm.
Wealth management, folks. You can utilize wealth management to grow your wealth and fund. If you want to fund humanitarian projects, you can do that from the profit of through wealth management. Okay, let's jump into this next article, please, my young lady.
All right. Wealth management and investment banking are both financial services that differ in the clients they serve, the services they offer, and the level of customization for each client.
Mm-hmm.
Wealth management. Wealth management professionals work with individuals and families, typically high net worth, to help them preserve and grow their wealth. Wealth managers provide a range of services, including...
One second, below. 1 second. Wealth management professionals work with individuals and families, typically high net worth. Folks, some of you might be thinking, oh, I don't have my money. I didn't exchange yet. I'm not high net worth yet. They're not going to talk to me. Did you have that issue, Peculiar Ram?
No, I didn't.
Debo, glass half full. You ladies can unmute.
Okay. No,
When you
I
met with
didn't- no, absolutely not.
Did it cost you anything?
Nope.
Did they tell you you had to have your 5 million, 10 million, 20 million, 30 million up front and waiting for them?
Nope. In fact, I felt like they rolled out the red carpet at times.
Right.
You know?
So you were treated like a high net worth individual before your high net worth came.
Right. Little did they know. And I'm still being treated that way. You know,
You're still being treated. Yes.
Yeah, they're salivating to get the business.
Yep. Debo, what about you?
Nope. They don't know anything, and they gave me everything.
I love it. Did it cost you anything?
Didn't cost me a dime. Just time.
Thank you. Just time. Do you? Beautiful. Treat it like high net worth already. Okay. All right, Peculiar Ram, you can continue. All right. Wealth managers provide a range of services, including. Go ahead.
Including investment advice, financial planning, tax planning, estate planning, retirement planning, brokerage accounts, managed account services. So investment banking. Investment bankers work with large organizations such as corporations, governments, and institutional investors. They advise companies on a range of transactions, including mergers and acquisitions, capital raises, equity and debt deals, restructuring, initial public offerings, sales of securities. Wealth management is often considered a high-end service, and some firms may require a minimum net worth or investment assets. However, at large banks, wealth management clients may get early access to investment banking products.
It sounds like us. Exactly what's happening now. Exactly. We're yourself, Debo, Glass Half Full, Lady Unique, many other members have already are being treated as high net worth clients and have early access to investment products before the exchange happens. Because folks, these banks know, in these wealth management firms, both that are associated with the banks and private wealth management firms, they know what's coming. They're prepared. Are your redemption centers prepared? Well, see, this is something that you folks, we really want you to understand. In the Goldilocks QFS Dialogues room, folks, you are the 1%. You are prepared. That's why they're sending the trolls and the haters to come to try to sabotage. That's okay. We have fun with them when
we sure do.
We have fun with them. then we introduce them to She-Hulk.
Yeah.
All right. If you could read this last one, I appreciate it, beloved.
All right. As we move into 2025, people with money are the type of people banks will be looking for as clients. It is important to keep in mind that an ego left unchecked would not be able to enter into some of the most important investments possible inside a banking system. You will be overlooked. If we go into a banking relationship with our wealth managers, knowing it is a partnership capable of making both parties succeed, it is an attitude that is welcomed and able to be worked with inside a banking system. There are so many new opportunities for growth going forward inside of the new digital banking system. Take your time looking at your opportunities and find the ones that you want to invest your mind and your money into going forward. You have to be invested in your money, or your money will not be invested in you.
Can you read that last quote by Goldilocks one more time? That's powerful.
Absolutely. You have to be invested in your money, or your money will not be invested in you.
Powerful. Folks,
Mm-hmm.
you have to be invested in your money, or your money will not be invested in you. I feel oftentimes that some people may think because you probably didn't have to invest a lot into your currencies in order to get a great return, you may not appreciate it as much. But you have to treat this as if you invested your whole entire paycheck, your whole entire savings. You have to treat, let me tell you, it's like if you truly knew the effort and the time that Lady Unique put in to be where she's at, Brunette Grand, Glass Half Full, Debo, all these other members, Peculiar Ram, so many others, Zach. If you knew the time that people put in, it doesn't take a lot of money. It just takes some time. A lot of people, I believe, because we're in the era of instant access and convenience. People may not want to put the time in to establish a relationship with a bank and a wealth manager because they can go to someone's room and hear, oh, it's happening this weekend because my high level sources said. So to them, that's convenient. That's easy. Okay, great. And there's nothing to show for it.
Mm-hmm.
But here we have members that are following the steps. And what do they have to show for it? Relationships with the actual people who are going to exchange their currency. Relationships with the wealth managers who are going to manage and grow their wealth. What better proof and receipts to have than from you, the people? See, it doesn't have to come from myself, Wiley, or Goldilocks. That's the beauty of this room and this community, Peculiar Ram, is you, the people, are the receipts. You're out there. You see it. You're touching the flesh with these bankers. You're getting the confirmation from them. No greater receipts than that.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Beautiful. Any thoughts on any of this, Peculiar Ram, with wealth management? Does it kind of solidify some things for you?
Yeah, it definitely solidified everything, and to see it actually happening in real time with the members within the group and listening to their stories with their wealth managers and their conversations, a lot of it aligns with what we see happening in the articles, especially the ones that we read today about the wealth managers. It's like it's running parallel, and if it wasn't for the receipts of the members, we wouldn't know exactly how true and how real this was. So couldn't ask for anything more. This was a great call to start off 2025. I tell you that much.
And the timing couldn't be more perfect. As we go into the new year and this new law that just went into effect December the 20th, this amended law. And don't forget, folks, what happened on January 1st? New foreign currency exchange law went into effect. For if your exchange is over $200, it's taxed, but it's from the IRS. So much happened within the last 30 days.
Yeah, it did.
All in preparation for what is to come. And so if you have not even began, you haven't even started step 1 in the 8 steps. If you haven't, you are missing out. You are behind. I don't care what anyone says. If you haven't begun to establish your relationships, you're behind. It's not going to be like, oh my God, the RV, then you got to rush in to establish relationships. Yeah, you could do that. You'll just be behind.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas these folks who have already started, it didn't cost them anything but their time, and they're off and running. And the biggest, the most beautiful thing is none of these folks have to sit back and wait for a notification that will never come. It doesn't exist. All of that notification 800 number garbage is just to keep you hooked, to continue coming back to the people that tell you they have the source for the 800 numbers and notifications. So you feel as if you need them to get to your bag of gold, to get to your pot of gold. You need those gurus. You need their sources. You need their contacts that they don't have. You need their information that they don't have. You need them. You need to hear from them to get your note. You need to. Peculiar Ram, do you need somebody? You don't even need me, Wiley, or Goldilocks to tell you nothing, do you?
Well, don't say it like that, but
you know what I mean. I mean,
yeah,
like when it's time to go.
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, I'm confident enough to be able to walk on my own 2 feet. But don't say it like that.
You don't need us to tell you about our high level sources and contacts. We got people over redemption centers, and they're gonna send you a notification. You don't need none of that garbage coming from us.
Mm-mm. The spell needs to be broken. Y'all have to break that spell.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it's giving. It's giving a whole spiritual, blockage from your true purpose and your true inheritance and your confidence and the new you, because it does something within you. It stirs up something within you that just kind of, as you shattering old beliefs, it gives you a new sense of confidence all the way around, not just for the RV and how to talk to the wealth managers. It gives you a whole new outlook of what you can do. And you're never going to even be able to see what you can do if you're blinded by the blindfolds that they have over so many people. Break the spell, you guys. Break the spell. We will help y'all. Sometimes it may hurt, but we will be there to help break that spell for you guys.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
That's the community. Real quick, Freedom?
Absolutely. I was just coming to you. Go ahead, White.
The only notifications these people in this community are going to receive is like, hey, it's on Forex. Oh, I went to this bank. I was able to do it. Oh, I went to this bank. And it's going to domino like that. And that's how people are going to find out. There won't be no 800 notification. There won't be any emails. How do they have these people's information? They don't.
Right.
And it's just going to be by word of mouth and people learning after the fact. And the beauty of this room is you all have relationships. You've already established them. Most of these people probably will know prior to you knowing and will reach out to you and say, listen, it's time. You want to bring your stuff in, we'll work with you and we'll finish your structure out. And you'll be making money by the time half of these other people even get to a relationship where you are now to get structured, let alone get invested in making things, which leads me to my second point. There are opportunities within wealth management to help you raise capital for charitable givings and other business for projects. And they are happy to help you raise capital from your money that you already have without spending it.
Right.
And then you are never giving away the money. I can tell you very succinctly, when I was in the 501c world, I spent 90% of my time chasing money or new funding sources. I only spent 5% of my time doing the actual job I was looking to do. Because if you are constantly throwing money at something that doesn't replenish itself, you don't have a business. You have a boat anchor.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
So I'm glad you brought that up about people need to take their newfound wealth, invest it, never spend capital, and only play with the interest.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my
beautiful
soapbox for
That's it.
tonight, Freedom.
Absolutely. In fact, Lady Unique, I was just going to come to you. You raised your hand, but go ahead, Lady Unique.
Hey, thanks. I just wanted to reiterate what Uncle Wally just said, because that too is one of the things that when I spoke to my concierge with my wealth management firm, and I was talking about the as parts in my there's two very, very strong, heartfelt projects I want to do, and just like he said we can help you do that. This is awesome. He said we can help you so that you invest and help invest in that, so that you're not spending all your I forget the exact verbiage. It just hit me again when Uncle Wally said that, because that's just exactly
Yeah, the
what the
principle. You want
concierge
me to
was
touch it?
sharing. Right. He said, you don't want to, so that the fundings can help refund your own project, so you don't ever have to touch that. And we can set that up for you. So I was really impressed with how he, all the other stuff that I wanted to do, but those two particular projects are heartfelt for me. And I was just blown away by his feedback about that. So it's truly amazing. It truly is.
Beautiful. Thank you. I was just ready to come to ask you about that, and you raised your hand. Awesome. Perfect timing. I was just ready because I remember you had shared that with me before. Awesome.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
All right. You got it. Wiley, any parting words? Anything else you wanna add?
No, it's all good. I agree with Peculiar Ram. It's all running in parallel. If people watch both sides of it, both what they're doing, what they're reaching out and talking to their bankers and their wealth management people as they come in and see what Goldilocks is laying out, they can see it's very much parallel to what we're seeing laid out to what they're trying to do on their own end.
Right. Yep. So actually, you're right. People are seeing it firsthand with the banks. Undeniable now. The banks are talking to the people. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and you did mention, that these people are building this, and it's not that they have quit listening to things as a whole. They just don't have time for the guru nonsense because they realize what we've given them is actually a roadmap to benefit them, and they're outworking the plan, and they're spending more time and getting more value from talking to the bankers and their wealth management team than any gurus ever provided them in 20 years.
Exactly right. Yeah. It's like Peculiar Ram says, it's like breaking the chains.
Yes.
Yeah. Chains are broken. Here.
Peculiar, don't think I've forgotten your story either, girl. I remember you from the start.
Don't forget me either.
I have. I just remember you were so memorable with your stories and coming on, and really laying the foundation to encourage others and inspire others to reach out and do this for themselves.
Absolutely.
So thank you.
Absolutely. I'm looking forward to sharing more in the future.
Beautiful. All right, beautiful folks. It's been amazing. We hope that you all take heed to what we shared tonight about wealth management. It would be in your best interest to come into the room. Click the link at the top of the description. If you haven't joined the Goldilocks QFS Dialogues room, for free, you can join, and you will meet people just like those you've heard from tonight, and you can learn from this community how to prepare for your exchange and your generational wealth. Again, Happy New Year, everyone. Everyone have a good night. We love you. Ciao.
Hello, beautiful people. This is Freedom Fighter. Thank you for tuning into our channel, Goldilocks Global Banking News. Everybody knows that Goldilocks is the #1 source for the RVGCR. People from around the world tune in to see what Goldilocks is sharing on the RVGCR. Don't miss your chance and get your latest updates every day. So like, share, and subscribe to this channel to get your daily podcast from the Goldilocks articles on the RVGCR. Brought to you by Freedom Fighter.